ANC Deputy Secretary General Jessie Duarte has promised the party's disgruntled employees that their salary issues will be sorted out soon. Now, some of the workers say they haven't received their May salaries. Addressing the workers outside Luthuli House earlier on today, Duarte apologizing for the delay and asking the workers to be more patient. Newzroom Afrika's Mbali Tetani has been watching that story, while asking workers to be patient when the writing about the state of the finances of the ANC has been on the wall for some time. It's a situation that we can't say is surprising. Why didn't the ANC have any plan in place?
You're absolutely right, Kathy, and this has stemmed from at least 2018 now. We know that they've had financial woes for quite some time, and this is a question that we've continuously asked the ANC. This also happens at a time where they have the local government elections coming up, so today, a number of frustrated employees picketing outside Luthuli House, saying that, well, they're very angry that, this pattern has been continuing for a very long time. You'd even remember last year, Kathy, in December, that they were also paid their salaries late. So this is the first time, Kathy, where we saw the leaders of the party, and of course that was the Deputy Secretary General, addressing employees today. And this picket was actually taking place at all of their 9 provincial offices. Let's just take a listen, Kathy, to what Jessie Duarte had to say to the employees today.
The current cash flow challenges faced by the movement is as a result of a variety of factors which, as you say, is really not your concern, but we need to put it to you, including the general economic situation, the implementation of the Political Party Funding Act since April this year, as well as an urgent need to modernize the ANC's operational and funding models. The difficult situation faced by the staff and the ANC as a movement will require sober and decisive action. We are committed to conclude the process of addressing the situation head-on within the shortest space of time.
All right, so a problem that has persisted, I suppose, at different intervals since 2018. You mentioned it's the first time we're seeing at least the scale of leadership of the party addressing the matter. Does that have anything to do with the fact that this is an election year? Perhaps the ANC doesn't want to be found to be looking like it's not taking care of its employees, if nothing else, not hearing them?
It's quite an interesting question to ask, because when you look at the build-up to the elections, and when you speak to other various parties, the likes of the EFF, they want those elections to be postponed. But the likes of the ANC actually want these elections to go ahead. But they want them to go ahead at a time where they're facing some serious financial challenges. Just yesterday, Kathy, we know that the senior leaders met, and of course they were trying to iron out the issues, taking into consideration the issues around not paying them on time. Now we know from Jessie today that the employees have been paid, that SMS for some of them came in today, those who bank with the same bank as their employer. But really, some were saying that, well, we still need to get paid in the next 2 weeks, because they get paid on the 25th of each month. So it will be quite interesting to see, Kathy, if whether they indeed will be paid. But at the same time, you speak about elections, and we know that that Party Political Funding Act came into effect this year. So something that Jessie has also attributed that to, saying that at the same time, while we face these financial challenges, we have this Political Party Funding Act where donors now will have to disclose how much they have paid to the party. Kathy, let's take a listen to what she had to say about that Political Funding Act.
We're looking into all these matters, and the national officials on their meeting on Monday resolved to meet with you as the staff within the next coming days or the next week. We have a plan in place to manage the outstanding payments due to the Provident Fund. We also have a plan in place to deal with all other third-party contributions. Your medical aid is up to date. We are committed to paying staff salaries, and whilst the payment may not be at the end of the month, every month, there will be a monthly payment.
Of course, this is a conversation. I suppose the less we say about it, the better, because if the evidence that has come out of the Zondo Commission of Inquiry is anything to go by, perhaps some of the ways in which the ANC has been receiving its monies could well be the reason why the party does not have as much access to monies as it has historically.
And that's the conversation that many people are actually having, Kathy, saying that, well, we've seen from the Zondo Commission that a number of people have come forward and they've said that, well, I've received a certain tender and I've donated as well to the party. So when you look at what we've heard from the Zondo Commission and the financial woes that the party is facing, one cannot, one can link these two together.
What are the workers saying? So now that they've had at least as much assurances as they can, given the circumstances, does this mean that they're going to go back to work full steam without any more protests from here on?
Well, basically what the workers want, Kathy, some of them that we spoke to were saying that, well, their provident funds, their medical aids have not been paid since 2018. And this is a question that we've asked the Treasurer General of the party. Some were saying that, well, I don't even have medical aid at the moment because my medical aid is always suspended. So they want the assurance of saying that, well, here we are, we contribute, you look at your pay slip and you're contributing to these things, your provident fund, your medical aid, but you can't use your medical aid. And, and this is where they were saying that they want these answers from officials. But they're saying that, well, it's a good thing now that they've actually come out and they've spoken to them. Some were even saying that, well, we want you to communicate with us. If you can't pay us on time, at least just let us know so we can start making, financial plans because we know what to expect come the 25th of the month.
Bali, the irony is that you have the ANC facing these situations within its party, but as a party in government, you also have employees, SAA, Denel, the list goes on and on, who are literally left with the same dilemma. So some of these problems and issues infiltrating through in terms of not just the party, but also the way the party is governing. We're going to leave it there for tonight. Mbali Tetane has been tracking that story, and it really is devastating to see the kind of impact that the issues that arise at different organizations have on employees. Ultimately, these are the people who cannot plan around their lives. They live with the frustration and the stress of not knowing whether or not they're going to have an income at the end of the day, and they certainly must be heard. It's an incredibly unfair situation.